Hi, my name is Chelsey and I'm one of the registered dietitians at the Rochester Athletic Club, and today I'm going to be showing you a recipe for an unstuffed pepper skillet. So for the purpose of this video, I have done a lot of the prep work just so I'm not showing it for 20 minutes. So it's kind of like your stuffed peppers, but it's a little bit easier because it all goes in kind of one pot. So your first step would be ground your hamburger. So I used a pound of 93.7 lean ground beef. You could use ground turkey, ground chicken, whatever kind of meat you would like. So you'd brown that first and set that aside, or you can set that into another bowl once it's done. So as you can see, I've browned my beef and cooked it through and set it in a separate bowl. And then what you would do, if you took that out of a bowl, use that same pan and you're going to saute with a tablespoon of olive oil, half a chopped onion, 2 cups of peppers, and I used, let's see, two minced garlic cloves. So I love garlic, so I just put a little dollop of minced garlic in there. And then what you do is you saute that until your onions are kind of translucent. And then what you would do is I would have that in a large pan, and once that's fully sauteed, you would add a bag of riced cauliflower. So I actually used Trader Joe's has a riced cauliflower bag that I use. This was 12 ounces. So it's kind of however much you have on hand or would like to use. So I'm going to add that into the bag of riced cauliflower. The nice thing about this is if you want to use rice or quinoa, you definitely could instead of the riced cauliflower. And what you would do is you would pre-cook that and add that in at the end when we add the ground beef back in. So added the peppers and onions to the mixture of the riced cauliflower, and then at this point we are going to add some seasonings. So I have pre-mixed my seasonings here. What it is it's a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of thyme. It does call for a teaspoon of sea salt. I use just about a half a teaspoon, and then a half teaspoon of ground black pepper, and then also crushed red pepper to taste. Some people don't like it super spicy, so I just put in a little bit. So you would add that in with your riced cauliflower. And then what you would do is you're going to kind of just mix that together and saute it until the riced cauliflower just becomes soft. So I kind of already have that done just for timing. And so you can kind of see we have that mixture already together. And so once your riced cauliflower is soft, we're going to add that ground beef back in. So I'm going to add my ground beef back in here. So this would be the point where you would add your cooked rice or quinoa if you'd like to do that instead. And so once you have the ground beef mixed in with the cauliflower or your rice mixture with the peppers and onions and seasonings, the last step is going to be to add a marinara sauce to it. So I just have a plain marinara sauce, no sugar added. So you just add that in. And so once you got, it does call for a 24-ounce container. I think I have a 23-ounce, so it's super close. So what you're going to do is you're going to stir to combine, mix that in, and simmer just for about 10 to 15 minutes to let that soak up all the juice and all the seasonings in that for flavor profile. And then if you have fresh basil on hand, you could top that with fresh basil. It does originally call for nutritional yeast because that kind of gives it a cheesy flavor. I do not have that on hand, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to top it with just a little bit of mild cheddar cheese, and then I don't have fresh basil, so I'm going to use just a little basil leaves, and that's going to be called a meal. Hope you enjoyed.